Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I am Sandra. I'm a mom who has been touched by addiction. And I have here Luke, who's also been touched by addiction, who's been in recovery for over 2 years. Today, our topic is how to communicate with someone who's been touched by addiction. And when I say touched by addiction, whether you're someone that has the substance use disorder, someone that loves that person, or someone that's in recovery.
Yeah.
Right. And we kind of broke it down into two parts. One is when that person wants to talk to you and listening with compassion.
Yes.
And two, when you start to interchange and engage in the conversation and being mindful of some of the things that you say and using I statements instead of saying you should do this.
Yes.
Right.
And the point too.
The
That point.
That
That's
point. Three
yeah,
are pointing back at you, right?
Yeah.
So, let's talk about listening with compassion. I know for me, with my son, and for those who haven't seen any of our videos, I lost my son to addiction over a year ago. So I have years of experience as the loved one. And what I could look back and see that when I stopped telling him what to do or asking questions, that's when everything shifted with our relationship. Because I found that when I stopped asking questions, he started sharing. So when we say listening with compassion, I know some people will be listening to their loved one, and while they're listening, they're thinking, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, I'm going to say this. And they're waiting for that opening to say, hey, you should.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Given like straight, like a solution based like answer, right? And I think the listening with compassion, we always talk about this before we do this, and compassion's like trying to sit in that person's shoes somehow and try to like sit in their suffering with them, to have an understanding. So I know for me, there's times where, especially around loved ones or support systems, where I just want to share something that, I want to be able to just say, hey, I'm not doing the best right now. Like, I don't need to hold up that mask that there's a pressure that I always have to be doing good. And so when I finally decide, like, yeah, hey, like, I don't feel that good right now, there's stuff going on in my life and I'm a little down. When I've had that whole, well, you need to be positive or you should do this, and somebody jumps right into the solution, it's not helpful for me, because it took me a little bit to just get vulnerable and just finally admit, like, yeah, you know what, I'm off right now. And when I get the solution thrown right away, and it's good intention, like we talked about, the loved one's got really good intention, they just want to see me do good. But I retreat a little bit because now I start feeling like I'm not doing enough and I'm not doing it right. And it's like you don't get heard. And where now, when that happens, I've experienced, it's like I start to put the I'm okay mask back on.
So then you're not being truthful to yourself.
No.
And
suppressing
we start to hide,
again.
suppressing.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
And then you're in that cycle.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's huge. And we were also talking about how, like, when we do go to meetings and we share, I know for me, going to Narnon meetings, I will share what I'm going through and nobody's interrupting me. I find that while I'm sharing and talking, I come up with my own solution. So that's why, we need to learn to not interrupt when somebody's talking.
Yeah.
Just so that you could say, well, if you try this, well, no.
Yeah.
I just want to be heard.
Exactly. Yes.
We just want to be heard.
Just want to be heard. Like, right? And in the initial being heard, right? Like, because it takes a lot. Even me, where I'm at, like, in my own recovery, I can go back to that place of, like, my pride gets in the way, where I don't want to admit that I'm not doing the greatest and whatnot. So it's always a challenge to open up and be like, you know what, I'm struggling with this right now. And I've found in that situation, like, I've been in meetings too, where I know people want to be helpful and they want to throw that solution out right away. But you're just like, I just want to be heard right now, like you said, because I will start to feel like, oh my God, I'm not working a good program. Like, I'm not doing the right thing, but, like, I'm human. Like, I'm not going to be batting 100 every day and be in this bliss of happiness. Right. And no matter where I'm at in my journey, I want to be able to be open and vulnerable that I'm not doing that great.
Exactly. And I know, like with Ben, I stopped making suggestions. I stopped saying, I think you should go to treatment. I think you should do that. Because first, number one, who likes to be told what to do?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Add addiction into that mix and forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started to empathize and listen to what he was saying, it's like, I hear you. I feel you. I don't know how difficult it is, but I could only imagine from what I'm witnessing.
Yeah.
But I just want you to know that I love you and I'm there for you when you choose to do what you need to do.
Yes.
Yeah. And, in the end, and I know it's hard as a parent because it's like, well, how do you just sit back? Well, I'm not sitting back. I'm still connecting with him. I'm still letting him know I'm there for him and I love him.
Yeah.
I'm just not telling him what to do. And if he wants to know what his options are, because I would hear him say, you make it sound so easy. Well, buddy, no, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But when you're ready, the help is there for you.
Right.
And it's hard work. And that's why us telling them what to do, sure, they might agree to go to treatment, but if they don't do the work, then it's not going to work. They're going to be kicked out, or they're going to leave. They're going to feel like inadequate, like you were saying. Even those little statements,
those little ones,
it's being magnified if you're bringing them to treatment.
Exactly. Yeah. And remember, like I said something to you earlier about, the whole going back to the compassionate listening thing of trying to put yourself in those person's shoes. How, like, the I statements, like, one thing that's great is, like, if somebody can say, like, I can't imagine what that feels like. I haven't experienced that. And that kind of shows this, like, but I'm here to listen to you.
Right.
I'm here to love you. Because now it gives them, like, that person's accepting me exactly how I am in this moment. Right. Pretty much come as you are. I'm here. We can walk through this together. Because when you give the whole solution based right away, you should do this, or you should just be more positive about it. You should do this. You should do that. If you haven't walked that path or had that person's experience, how can you give the solution right away? And like I said, I know it comes from a place of, I got to jump into action. This is my loved one, or I care about this person, so maybe this will work. But my point of view of sharing about this, in my experiences, there are some times where I want to close up because now I feel inadequate. Now I feel like I'm not, doing good enough in my own recovery. I'm human. I'm not going to have the greatest day every day. And I want to be able to just share that. And
be truthful to yourself,
to myself,
and your feelings and what's going on. And there's a fly. But that's such a huge thing, is that when somebody is sharing, it takes a lot of guts to share and be honest. It takes courage to share. And so when, like listening to you, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to just listen, because that took energy for you to come and say, I'm not doing good today. I'm not doing good today. And sometimes we just need to have somebody there to listen.
Exactly. And you did that for me today, right? I got to share with you saying, I have a court date coming up and a lot of things can change whichever way it goes. And my motivation's kind of been gone. I almost feel like when I get up out of bed, like my bed's like wanting to pull me like back into bed, and pull the covers over, and there's like fear and there's anxiety, and I'm trying to roll through it. But like when I came and opened up to you about that, you just listened. You literally listened. You didn't say, well, Luke, you got to keep doing what you've always been doing. Like you heard me out, and it felt good. Like, and that's why I'm able to come here and do this with you.
Amazing. And thanks for sharing that, because I'm getting goosebumps again. But that's so important, because I know if I'm feeling crap, and I look back when Ben was in active addiction, I'd come home and I'd say to my partner, this and this and this, and he's like, well, if you do that, and I just basically said to them, and this was years ago, it's like, you know what, I just need you to listen to me. And God love them. I would come home after seeing Ben and blah, 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 and I would take a breath, and then I'll say, well, what are your thoughts on it? And then we'd have a conversation or whatever. But I just needed to be heard. I just needed to get it out of my system. However, I didn't want answers. I didn't want solutions. I just needed to get it out of my system.
Yeah, just
That's
talk
it.
about it. Yeah.
So it goes both ways. It's not just
Mhm.
for the person that's in active addiction or what.
Yes,
It's for the person in recovery.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
for the loved one. I, as the loved one, I'm not in active addiction. I never have been. I needed to be heard.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
talk about anxiety and, and stress.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to be heard.
Yeah.
So, you know, to wrap this up, it's like to communicate with anybody that's been touched by addiction.
Mhm.
Just listen. They just want to be heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't use the "you should do" I statements. I feel
Yeah.
you. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I love you. You know, I love you. That is such a powerful
Yeah.
statement because of connection.
Yeah.
Because they say the opposite of addiction is
It's
connection.
connection. Yeah.
So
yeah. That's
I
right.
love you.
I love you.
And to my friends, remember, where there is breath,
There's hope.
amen.
Amen.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care,
Have a good
everybody.
day, everybody.